Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Shanae Cannon, and I'm going to be your counselor. It's nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So, Brandon, just a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm Shanae. I'm a graduate student at Houston Baptist University, and I'm interning here. And so I'm going to be working with you through this process.
Nice.
Okay.
Sure.
And so I know that they went over the informed consent a little bit before this in the initial intake, but still, this is still part of the intake process. So I just wanted to reiterate a little bit about the process that we're going through.
Okay.
It is going to be a 10-week process where you meet once a week with me for an hour.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, we can set a time,
All right.
whatever works best for you and your schedule. Also, so just a little bit more about the process. So we are going to be doing some goal setting and treatment planning that you will be asked to take part in, and as well as some homework, you know, just to make sure that outside of this process, outside of this room, certain steps are still being followed.
That makes sense.
Okay, so whatever's going to get the best results. And also with the informed consent process, at any time, if you are unclear or have any questions about anything, just feel free to ask me or anyone else in the staff, and we'll be sure to address those concerns and help you out with those questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's get started. Are you okay with that?
Sure. That's good. Yeah. That's
Okay,
good.
so just tell me a little bit about yourself.
29. I'm Aries. I live by myself currently. I'm in the food industry. Graduated 2014 from U of H. I have my bachelor's in science and psychology, and I also have my business administration degree in my associate's degree in business administration. I'm pretty active. I skateboard, I play basketball. Me and my dad have an okay relationship.
Nice.
Like animals. Not pretty,
Okay.
Single.
So, what brings you into counseling?
I was referred here by a friend. I had an incident that occurred at work a few days ago, and I had the choice of either basically being fired or just coming to counseling and getting it taken care of. So I was kind of venting to a friend. They referred me here, so now I'm here.
Okay. So about this incident, can you tell me a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, it was an array of things. It was just stress just from the work week. Everything kind of popped off on Saturday, but it went from. I had worked a pretty strenuous week because there's a gas convention in town. Like I said, I work in the food industry, and everybody was just pretty tense just the entire week, just because everybody was pretty active or whatnot. And we were working long hours, and it's kind of got to like one of those boiling points where it's you just get frustrated and you just say things to the point where that person just wants to leave you alone. Well, at this time, this person was my manager, and she was and it was also a female, and me being talking aggressively to a female, that's also an authority figure just didn't look good on my part. So I had to get that rectified. But yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Okay. So you were saying this was pretty much like a buildup of the stress throughout the work week?
Well, the work week and the job, I guess a little bit of both. This is the most strenuous my job has been for a while, and the expectations that I have for myself, as well as expectations that I have for the people under me and my job, just weren't all the way being met, and so I just kind of felt like it was unfair. And so yeah, it kind of reached this boiling point where I had to say some things that just weren't in my character.
Has this happened before, where you felt like you acted outside your character due to the stress?
Yeah, it has happened before. I think it's one of those things. As humans, we have to catch ourselves, but I do find myself that I have, a slight anger problem when it comes to kind of managing. I don't have any physical confrontations with people, but it's more so me telling somebody off or just getting frustrated to the point that I just don't want to be bothered. So
So I heard you say it was a little bit of due to anger issue.
Mm-hmm.
How often would you say that you blow up and
I probably wouldn't say things fluster me too much, just because I let a lot of things roll off my shoulders. But I'd probably say I probably maybe get actually angry maybe once or twice a month, and it's never really it's never due to my personal life. It's always due to like some work related situation, which is why this is definitely work related for sure.
So just to be clear, you would say times where you felt the stress as where you got this overwhelmed and you would blow up on either a coworker or somebody around you.
Mm-hmm.
That happens at least 1 to 2 times a month, or
I would say my job frustrates me to the point that I either tell somebody like how I really feel too bluntly, too directly, using very choice words, or it gets illustrated in like my attitude, like at work. So it's never too much on my personal life, just because I like to try to leave work at work, and I'm so happy to be off sometimes that can't take the job with you. So
yeah, I can understand that. Is this your first time seeking counseling for this, or in your first time in counseling period?
It's not my first time in counseling, no. But it is my first time seeking help for my anger, yes.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask you your other times in counseling?
My other time in counseling was due to a traumatic experience. My mother passed away when I was really young. Mm-hmm. And so I guess my father put me in counseling as a child to make sure that I was, still on an even keel. Like it didn't, break me up too much, and I didn't, become a serial killer. So I haven't killed any people lately, so we're good. I'm just kidding.
You don't feel like you want to hurt yourself or anybody?
Absolutely not. No,
okay.
Absolutely not. I'm not talking about it. Life is way too precious to either take my own life or take somebody else's. Like I don't have the keys for that, so I'm good.
Okay. So would you say that the counseling that you got before for with your mother's passing, that was helpful for you?
Yeah, I want to say yes, because it kind of propelled me to come here now that I'm older. Like it definitely didn't hurt at all. I really don't remember it too much because I was 9 years old, and that was 20 years ago. I'm 29 now. So I don't remember it too much, but I do remember walking out feeling relieved.
Okay.
Like the relief, like just being able to kind of talk or draw or just kind of let this person know who's an unbiased outside entity know how I really feel without like the judgment of my pops or anybody else.
Okay, so we could say you're hopeful about this process as well too, then.
Yeah, I would say I'm hopeful. I'm a little reluctant now that I'm older, but I mean I definitely have expectations, especially with you telling me that there's gonna be like follow-ups and stuff like that and homework. I mean I really wasn't expecting homework walking in here, and like I said, I graduated already. So.
I mean it's nothing too strenuous or anything, but it's just little markers to make sure that you're
understand.
Taking in everything.
That makes sense. I mean if I'm taking it seriously, then yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and actually might be a lot beneficial because you can see ways to apply it, and might help reduce a lot of that stress that you're going through on a daily.
Yeah, I definitely plan to put some of that stuff into play. It's because I need it for sure, Doc.
Okay, so just going forward a little bit. So is this you said this wasn't your first time in counseling? Is anybody else in your family have any history of counseling or any mental illnesses or anything in the
I can't say yes or no, and the reason why I say that is because in the whole Black household, mental health really isn't a subject that's pushed. Mm-hmm. So as far as people in my household, well, first of all, I grew up as an only child, and like I said earlier, my mom passed away, so it was really just me and my dad, and so I never saw him go to counseling. But although I'm pretty sure he probably did. With my mother's passing, but that's not something that he would relate to me as a child.
Yeah.
So, he probably did. I mean, we still talk about stuff now, but I know he's not in counseling right now. No, and that's the only person I really have, close contact with.
Okay, so just back to the stress. Do you feel like there's any other symptoms besides you? Blowing up and getting mad, and let's say yelling at people. Are there any other, let's say, symptoms of your stress? Like, does it cause you any pain, anxiety, maybe maybe like fatigue or anything?
Headaches. Maybe whenever I get, I guess my blood starts boiling too much, like I start getting like this pounding sensation, kind of like right between my ear and my neck. I kind of get that like a little throbbing sensation. Of course, sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm too stressed out, I won't be able to sleep just because I have a million and one things on my mind. I can't really just.
What about eating?
Unfortunately, my eating patterns aren't great, so I wouldn't necessarily be able to pinpoint stress as the primary factor of me not eating, and that's just because I probably eat maybe one big meal a day or two medium meals, and I've been doing that for years. And this is I guess this started after I got out of my dad's house. So I'm pretty sure I was still stressed even living with him, but I was still eating 3 square meals a day. So I can't really say eating has a direct contribution.
Okay. So as far as like outlets to your stress,
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding outlet.
For sure. I skateboard every day.
Mm-hmm.
At least I try to. I hoop. Play basketball at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I say vigorous activity. Anything that gets my like adrenaline up. I can't say I've been skydiving or stuff, but like I said, skating, I like to bomb hills. I like to go fast. I draw sometimes.
Any other outlets, maybe like alcohol or any substances?
I do drink sometimes. I also smoke. I don't smoke too much. I smoke occasionally. And I wouldn't say I use that as an outlet, just because I kind of steered away from smoking for a while, just to get my emotions back in touch. But now that I have started smoking again, I try to stay away from substances in order to change my mood. I'm trying to intake all those negative emotions, all the emotions I feel, and I guess use those lucratively before I drown in a substance.
Okay. So what about your social support?
Social support?
Yeah, because that can be, a big factor in stress relief.
I'm in a few group chats with my friends. Like we all kick it, but I mean, I would say I have a strong social support. My dad's there. I know I can always call him at the end of the day. Right now I'm single, so that's how that goes. I do have a support group of friends. I am talking to a lovely young woman. I know she got me for sure. She actually helped me with my thumb, so I know I can get her whenever times get rough. She stays around the corner. So I would say I have a strong support group. Absolutely.
Okay. Are there any medications that you're taking or anything?
Besides maybe ibuprofen or Tylenol for maybe some minor pain, Neosporin or some scrapes. No, I try to stay away from pharmaceuticals.
Okay. And one question that I like to ask, especially with my clients dealing with stress, is just your daily mood. What would you say your mood is like on a daily? I know you mentioned that you say you probably stress or have incidents maybe 2-3 times a month.
Scale of 1 to 10, I would say my mood is probably an 8, and that's 10 being the best day ever, and 1 being the worst day ever. I say my mood is probably an 8.
So typically you would say that you have...
I have a pretty dope mood all the time.
Okay.
I really can't... I mean, there's plenty of things I can be down about, but as far as counting my blessings, having my ducks in a row, I think I'm pretty adamant about trying to keep my head straight. Just like I said, it's just a few times where my anger gets the best of me, and I kind of fly off the rails a little bit, which is of course why.
Okay. And just... what would you say possible triggers that make you fly off the rail?
Incompetence.
Incompetence,
helplessness, people acting like they don't know what to do or how to do it. That is one of my big pet peeves. Just not being able to live up to the expectations that everybody else has. If the expectations for me are the same, then they should be the same for you, and you should be able to live up to those because we all have the same job qualification. I shouldn't have to do extra stuff just because you can't. That's really annoying. So that's another big pet peeve.
It's something that triggers your stress, which triggers your anger, and
I think that would be it. Yeah, incompetence and helplessness.
okay.
Mm.
So
Also ignorance. Ignorance is a good one. And negative attitudes and emotions. Those are really, I mean, a lot of times I can kind of just steer myself away from it, but when you're kind of trapped in a box and you have to do something right where you're at, and there's negative over here and there's negative over here, that is frustrating. That makes me angry. So I guess you could say that too.
yeah, but I do want to make
Trigger.
note that I do like what you said, that you can steer yourself away from that, and that is something that I want to be able to help you within that process, because all stress can be, well, we're not going to say all stress can be avoided, but we can avoid a lot of the feelings that you couple with the stress.
Right.
And so, just another question that I wanted to ask, just your goals for this treatment process.
I guess to have a better grips on my anger, to make better, or to contemplate my decision making, I guess more thoroughly before I actually act. Also being able to have more support and have like another form of outlet. It's just, I mean, you said the course was what, 10 weeks?
10 weeks.
So that means I'm gonna be seeing you for an hour for 10 sessions for 10 weeks. So, I mean, just being able to talk, I guess, helps a lot. So I guess the ability to, I guess, release and talk to somebody is big for me.